Hey, we're Wildling, and we're hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live at the Troubadour.
What's up, guys? Troubadour. You guys are about to play the Troubadour.
Right, yeah.
Well, you can look wherever you want, man.
You can look over there.
You can look up there, right there. So to kick this off, I want to talk about your promo shots shot at Alabama Hills and Mount Whitney. Why did you guys choose to do that there? For me personally, I'm a trail runner, and those are like my dream destinations to go and run. But I'm curious what your reasoning for that was.
Well, I actually took this off-roading trip with my friend in a Jeep there, like a year before we took those photos, and it was one of the most insane places I've ever been to. And then when we were working with our friend who shot those photos, she's like, let's go to Alabama Hills. And I'm like, fuck yeah, that place is insane. So we just wanted to get out somewhere that looked cool, big open landscapes, and try not to have like that big band on a train track shot, you know, which is cool because we all like being outdoors. We're super into that sort of thing. So yeah. That was one of the reasons. That's my reason anyway. I don't know about the rest of these guys.
What about you guys?
No, it was really. It came up for me. Oh, sorry.
No,
He's like, do not touch. Do not grab my microphone. I felt the stiff arm. Like, oh shit.
Don't you touch it.
No, it was really Monroe Alvarez who did the shoot suggested it, and we looked up pictures of it online, and it looked stunning, and we went. That was it. We wanted to get out of LA
too. Yeah, we wanted to we had this vision of just showing, because we're a group and we were proud of being like a group of people in a band, and we wanted to create this image of us like in the wilderness together, you know.
Jumping into the band, it initially was 2 members, right? And then you decided to do the full band thing. What made you want to have like the full complete lineup for the rock band?
So yeah, Andrew and I have been playing together for almost 11 years now, and we've been in a couple other bands before this one. Right. And coming out of our other bands, we were still playing together. We had written a bunch of material. It was just the 2 of us for a solid like 4 years, and I think in our minds we always thought we would put another full band together at some point, but it just, I don't know. We spent like 3 years just kind of floundering, just figuring it out. I don't know. It wasn't coming together organically.
The period of self-discovery.
Yeah. We were hustling and trying to do the LA thing, and we recorded a song called Hummingbird, and that is really kind of what forced the group to come together. Cat Corbett at K-Rock started playing it on our local show, and we started getting a little bit of buzz around that song. And we were like, we have to put it together. So this is my brother who plays bass. He fell into place. And then Eric, who I met in the songwriting workshop, me and him had been making a bunch of music outside of the group. And he was like kind of the natural next member. I kind of had to force him.
It wasn't. He was just like, I mean, my time is precious, boys. So you better deliver, because I got a lot going on for me. And so we forced him.
No, Justin is a chef, and he basically promised a lot of meals, and he delivered, and it was great. It was a month of dinner. And it was awesome. So
in exchange for some tennis lessons, just like a little trade there.
Yeah.
So that's what sealed the deal.
I'm still feeding him. It's crazy.
So you guys got together for the first time, hit the studio or wherever it was that you went to write. What was that experience like, getting to see what each other's minds, could put the paper on the first time?
So basically, once I joined, there were 4 of us, and we actually did a couple shows. But then, in another really fortuitous moment for the band, Samir Gadia from Young the Giant met up with Ryan and suggested me having coffee with Casey, who had just left his previous band called Cayucas. And literally, Ryan and Casey met, and then I think it was the next day we got together in Casey's tiny little Culver City rehearsal space, and we played for 4 or 5 hours. And I remember walking out, it was maybe after midnight, and Casey just said, "So we gonna do this or what?" And we booked our next show 2 weeks later. That was at the Satellite, and the rest basically just really fell into motion quickly after that first show.
Yeah. Now for the new fans out there, Samir didn't just walk into the band saying, "Hey," I mean, there's obviously a relationship with you guys because you guys have gone on tour together before, right? Yeah. So what is it? I mean, how did that really happen from the Satellite to Samir checking you guys out and taking you guys out on the road? Like, how did that all come together for you guys?
So Samir is who connected us all, and these guys were friends with him just because we all live on the west side in LA, more or less. Yeah. He and Eric, right, from Young the Giant both happened to be at our first show at the Satellite, and I think they were just kind of impressed with what we had done, knowing that we had only been playing together for 3 weeks. And just a few weeks later, they asked us if we would go out on the road with them off that show.
Well, off that first show, so yeah, the next day after our very first show, the Satellite reached out and asked us to do one of their month-long.
Just coming together.
Yeah, that was really kind of the snowball. Like they asked us to do their month-long January residency, and it's for a brand new band. It's kind of the biggest opportunity to get in front of people and make some fans quickly.
It took a while for us to figure out a process from being in the rehearsal room where we would bring in ideas in various stages of completion, and then we kind of created ideas together in the rehearsal room, but we didn't really. I'd say one of the great moments of the record was when we all got together in a room to just specifically do a writing session, and that was when we wrote Lily White, which was the first single we put out on the record. And we did that song with a producer named Alex Salibian at his home studio, and it was just a really free-flowing great day where we started with some inspiration, and Casey was on an MPC, Justin grabbed his bass, there was some guitar lines that Ryan played and some piano stuff that I played and Andrew played, and just the song just kind of snowballed, and we had something really exciting by the end of that day where we really surprised ourselves. And I'd say that was like really the process that got us the sort of the catalyst with writing with the record.
And with the creation of that, did you guys already know like this is going to be a hit, or did you guys think about writing other stuff before considering that one as a single?
I don't think anyone ever really thinks about that. I mean, it's just writing a song. You never really. That's the fun thing about it. It's just like, what are we gonna do today? Well, I don't know. Okay, let's all.
No, I mean we definitely had it was one of the best feelings that I've had in a songwriting situation. Right. Where we all felt it was special. The hit thing is so elusive, and I just feel like no one ever knows. So I've kind of let go of that at this stage of being in a band and writing songs, and after doing it for so long, but I do know that we all felt like that was a really special song, and it really captured just that moment of that day. And
it's one of those things that I think takes a little bit to figure out if you like the song or not, because sometimes you could write a song and there have been so many ideas that have come and gone in this band of like moments of inspiration where we're like, fuck yeah, this is the coolest thing we've ever written, and then like a couple weeks later, I'm not so sure we want to play that. But for this song specifically, which we've had now for a little bit of time, it's still fun to play every time. I think that's when you kind of figure out, is this a good song? Or at least for you. Is it a good song for you?
I remember I showed up to that writing session kind of late, and they were like, check this out. Like, we want to see what you want to add to this song. And I like kind of just sat back and listened to like what they've been working on for like a good, I don't know, few hours. And then I was like, shit, like we got something good here. And like just ideas started just flowing. And when that happens, like it's not like, oh, I think this is a hit. It's just like, it just feels good. Like, it's gonna like feel good for other people too,
Working like with 5 people writing what we've learned, like it's tricky. Like it takes a lot of patience because all 5 of us are songwriters. And so at any point in time, someone can have an idea, but your idea isn't always like gonna be like, what's it? But you've got 4 other people who are kind of filtering. And so ultimately, even though it's more difficult, you end up reaching something that's a better song. Right. Because it met the palette of 5 tastemakers.
Now, as you guys have been in previous projects before, or in the music industry in general for quite some time, is it different for you guys now that there's actually 5 songwriters in the band as opposed to just 2 or 3 that focus on it?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think we're still, we've just done our first record, and I think we really kind of found the way that we work best together only like halfway through that making of that record process. So for me, I'm really excited to keep going like that. I'm already on. I want to keep writing because I do. For me, it's very different. Like Andrew and I have been, like I said, working together a long time, and I've done a lot of writing outside of even Andrew on my own. Right. And it's really nice to have people to bounce ideas off of. Right. For me, I'm really enjoying it.
Now, as you mentioned, working on a record, you guys are doing a show today. So when you guys are performing, for example, today, what can the fans expect? Are you guys testing out those new songs that you guys are writing at the moment, or do you guys have like
No, I mean, as far as today goes, the record's done.
Okay.
So it's going to be coming out early next year, and tonight is all songs from that record.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for the most part, with the exception of Lily White and fans who have been with us a while who know our song Hummingbird, which will be re-released, like people won't know any of the songs. Yeah. So it'll be all new material, but it's stuff that we've recorded over the last year.
Right. Now, what can the fans expect with how different will the record be actually as opposed to Lily White?
I would say that that's a great question, because I think there is one of the things that we have as a band as I think a range of influences, and I think the range of influences you can pick some of them out within the collection of songs, and I think when you step back and you look at the whole, I think you see a thread, I think there's a very strong thread of musical influences and the musical palette that we draw from. But it feels like I think once we finish the record, I think for me personally listening to it, I thought, oh wow, I think we do have a range, and I'm sure as we continue to grow we'll sort of find some more consistency, but I think that they do work together in a nice way.
I think that was a beautiful way of saying nothing else sounds like Lily White on the record. Yeah. I think that was
it's gonna be a hip hop album. It's gonna be a rock album.
No, we're playing a song tonight called Black Victorian. I think that could be a sort of a cousin or sister song of Lily White. Okay. I think. Wow, what else?
Songs are like, I don't know. I think that what we maybe do with our songs is we capture moods well. Yeah. And so the whole album isn't one mood. I'll say that for sure. And we'd all have different ideas of which, Lily White I'd say is more, what were we saying yesterday? We were saying, like, if you could define it in like one word, it'd be semi-tropic. That's what I said anyway. Okay. But then you've got like our next song, Leave It. Our song, that's a hyphenated word. That's so if you had, but then our next song coming out, Leavin', that's like party, like Rolling Stones vibe. Yeah. So, but it's all cohesive because it was all made through this filter that is the five of us. Right.
That's what it comes down to. It's like it's the five people playing their instruments, and it's there's a sound to it. Yeah. And then working with Joe Ciccarelli, and he really helped us kind of hone in our musicianship as well and arrangements, and that gave it a definite stamp of like cohesive sound. Right. And that was like 60% of the record, and the rest of it we finished with Alex Salibian, who we mentioned earlier, who we wrote Lily White with. So there's like and those songs have their own kind of life because we did them at a different studio. In like we did 5 songs in 1 week, and it was like a marathon session, and we were up till 6 in the morning recording Leavin'. So that has just this kind of barn burner drinking song, like it's rowdy.
Back to the Young the Giant tour. While you guys were on that tour, did that tour or the way that Young the Giant carry their tour influence you guys in any way with the way that you guys are writing your material, or even like considering like shows or tours?
I wouldn't say that it influences our writing, but for me, they're actually like, those are some of our best friends. Like I was living with Samir for a while, a couple of years, and I don't think that it has anything to do with writing the songs, but they definitely inspired me wanting to make our band work. Okay. Because when I first met them, we weren't even playing in this band. I've been a chef my whole life, and I was working at a restaurant, which was cool, but I just knew it wasn't what I wanted to be doing. And we went out to go to Lollapalooza in Chicago, and we watched them play, and I was just standing on stage looking at my friends play this show to thousands of people, and I was just like, we should be doing that. It definitely stoked my fire. It lit a spark is what it did, of just like, okay, these are great guys, they're our friends, I want to be doing this. This seems like something I'd like to be doing. And it's not like we were strangers to music. We'd all been in and out of bands for a long time, but it definitely...
Sometimes you need that extra spark to...
Yeah, but that being said, I do love their records. I think they're great. I mean, we've never like written music with them before, but I really dig and respect them as musicians too. So, yeah.
No, I think for me personally, and I think probably everyone feels the same way. Those guys are so incredibly nice and just humble, gracious people, and I think for me one of the big influences was just being around them in their camp and just feeling how good they are to their people and to us, and I feel like so grateful that we actually.
It's a good example.
You know, yeah, they just really kind of took us in and really lifted us up with that tour. And it's, I mean, I don't think we'd be here today if we wouldn't have got that tour.
I'm happy to finally meet you guys, and congratulations with Warner Brothers. That's a big deal. What else can we expect from you guys for the remainder of the year? You said the album's done.
Yeah, we're gonna be. So we just put out our first single like 2 weeks ago now. We're gonna be putting out another one this month, and then Hummingbird will be coming out end of summer, early fall, and hopefully that'll take us through the rest of the year with some tours and with the expectation to put out the record in early 2018. Cool. So more shows, more music, more videos. That's it.
Nice. I definitely look forward to that. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. You guys be sure to check out Wildling online and pick up the new single. It is called Lily White. They're on Warner Brother Records. They're just fucking awesome. Check it out.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Rob.